Oh, beautiful, for spacious sky, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties. Above the fruited plain, America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Oh, geez, wow. What a great start. Okay. So, first official podcast of the Young United. I'm here with
Cameron Brow. I'm the CFO at the Wave Networking Company.
and now an official member of the Young United, so congratulations. I am Sam, owner and founder of the Wave Network, also a new member of the Young United. So we're just going to be discussing current topics in these podcasts, upcoming. So yeah, this is a bit on the low budget side of podcasts, but you know, as always, we will try to persevere, and hopefully by I would say like a couple of weeks or so, we'll have an actual decent camera to use for our podcast. So without further ado, let's get into the news, and we can just discuss certain things and give our opinions and whatnot. All right. So first in the news, there's so much news, to be honest. You know, what do we really start on? So, and then for our first headline, Democratic Representative Jeffries says, and I quote, "Republicans want to make it harder to vote and easier to steal an election." Right off the bat, a complete joke, to say the least. Yeah, we had to stop there for a second. You know, a couple phone rings here and there. You know, we got a lot of fans, lots and lots of fans. You know, calling up Karen's dad. Anyways, yeah, what a joke of a what a joke to even say that. You know, with the previous 2020 election and looking back to the 2016 election as well, and how it's just a back and forth shooting of, you know, who did this, who did that. You know, it wasn't fair this, wasn't fair that. What countries interfered, what countries are helping, who, what, where, when, how, of all this stuff, you know, and it's just, it's preposterous, you know, the fact that no one can really trust an election anymore, and it's just a complete power grab, you know. So I had to stop there again. Very busy here in our quote work office. Anyway, so cut some slack. So going back to the 2016 election, and you just see the stuff that people were spewing out left and right. It was just unbelievable accusations that weren't even true, and were proven untrue in the Supreme Court, which is funny because you look back to this 2020 election that we had, and the fact that it couldn't even make it to the Supreme Court, no matter how ridiculous the case could sound, which it didn't, to be honest, because it was thousands upon thousands of sworn affidavits, affidavits is how you pronounce it.
Sure.
I apologize if I mispronounced it, but yeah, thousands upon thousands of sworn affidavits about election integrity, and a lot of good evidence towards an unhinged election, and the fact that it couldn't even be brought to the table, aka the Supreme Court, is just ridiculous. But yet, after the 2016 election, with no evidence whatsoever, they brought up Russian collusion. They brought that to the table, and it was the evidence was found not plausible, and it just never went through as a case. So I just think it's very ridiculous to say that Republicans want to make it harder to vote and easier to steal an election, when in fact what most Republicans, or even sometimes Democrats, want is a secure and strong election that people can truly believe is the real outcome, instead of seeing a lot of what we see as fraudulence and whatnot. But if you want to add on, you can.
So you take a look at the recent 2020 election. They introduced the mail-in balloting. So the main problem with that was there's not really a secure way to tell if someone that is even legally here in this country, really anyone could fill that out, turn it in, and it's counted. So that's really the main problem with that election, and that's why people, mostly Republicans and probably some Democrats too, are questioning the integrity behind that. Because as far as my knowledge goes, I don't remember that in 2016 that being really a thing. It was you go to the polls and all that. But ever since COVID, back in 2020, that's when this mail-in stuff started. So,
and that can lead into COVID, and how COVID was almost weaponized, just to have a person gain the upper hand in the election, and with Trump pushing people to go to polling stations and to vote in person, and when Biden would keep pushing for people to do mail-in ballots, which were all in all insecure. Especially when you see cases like, you see a lot of ballot dumpsters getting firebombed. It's not just I worry about Trump ballots. I also worry about Biden ballots. I worry about all ballots because it's just to know that there's a secure election, and that all ballots are being counted on both sides of the spectrum, whether it's Democratic, Libertarian, Independent, Republican, whatever it is. I'd rather have it equally on both sides than just have a one-sided type where people were purposely undermining the integrity of the election. And it wasn't just politicians. Me personally, I don't think it was just politicians who were purposely messing it up, if there were any. I think it was more just the average American citizen undermining election integrity, fake identifications to fill out these mail-in ballots, and they would count them without truly verifying a lot of the locations. I watch a lot of Steven Crowder, and one of his segments, he went to these houses and some of these mail-in ballots. He went to some of the addresses on them and found that people didn't live there. People who they said lived there didn't end up living there. And in one of the cases, one of the ballots was a person who voted for Joe Biden, turned out to be a previous staffer during the I believe it was either the Obama or Clinton. I believe it was Clinton times, and during the 2016 election, and turned out to be a fake ballot, fake address. And then right after his show, right after he did that, the address on the ballot was changed. So someone had to have seen that and got weary and decided to change it. So that's it's very scary to think that you can't really trust the system, and you don't know if who's sitting in office, whether it be Donald Trump or Joe Biden or any other person who ever got elected, if they truly were voted in, or if it was just a quick power grab. But anyway, anything you want to say?
So, what we saw for the past election was a lot of the mail-in ballots were, I think it was thrown in the trash. There were some, I think, in ditches or something. And so that, that's just really living proof that the integrity of it was just not there. Honestly, I think it should just be redone, the whole election just again. It just needs to be redone. And kick out the mail-in ballots and just have people go to the polls. COVID's kind of wrapping up, so people are starting to go back out again and everything. People are opening up, so just go back to the polls and redo the election. Really, that's what I say with that one.
Yeah, I wish it could all be redone, but what's best to hope for is the upcoming 2022 congressional elections, and hope to win back the House and Senate, with the Democratic House seats being lost and whatnot, and states where citizens are leaving those states, moving to different ones, and those states are losing a lot of seats with the Democratic Party, that is. So very hopeful that as to winning back the Senate, not 100% sure if that'd be possible in other upcoming elections, but I'm hoping to win back the House if we can, and then looking forward to the 2024 election. And with that, I want to say DeSantis should not run. I've heard this countless times of Trump DeSantis 2024, and that's just outrageously ridiculous. You know, not to slam on vice presidents, but Governor DeSantis would be a lot more useful if he were to stay in the position that he's in, you know, and leading Florida down the right path during COVID, and how he helped his state flatten the curve right in the beginning. You know, he didn't mandate masks. He didn't force people to do things that they didn't want to do. He's not forcing people to take a vaccination. He's not giving incentives to take the vaccination. You know, if you think you need it, get it. If you need it, get it. If you don't think you need it, you don't have to get it. Religiously, if you don't want to get it, you don't have to get it. You know, he's not saying do this, you know, get the vaccine, or else this, then that will happen. You know, he's just saying if you want to take it, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you, but I'm not going to force you to take it either. And I truly respect that. And I think that sets an example for a lot of governors, and I'm glad that he's where he's at in his position, and I don't think that he would be doing a lot more if he was vice president. That's just me, though. I'm happy with Mike Pence working with Trump. He is the calm in the storm, if I had to be honest, in the Trump administration. He is the probably one of the most workable and relatable staffers on the Trump administration during 2016 to 2020 administration, and I respect him for that. But anyway, that was just a side point that I wanted to
maybe Trump and Owens 2024.
No. People are put in certain positions for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, you have people like Glenn Beck, who you know, he's a fantastic guy, and things that he does and things that he says, you know, it's just I have a lot of respect for him, and I just feel like people are put in certain places to do certain things. God has you made it a specific way in order to achieve greatness in His name. You know. Anything else you want to add on before we sign off?
I just would like to see a change in how the elections work. Really, that's what I like to see. I just like to see where people have to get up and go to the polls, and there's some effort put into it, and not just sitting here being lazy and putting in a ballot. So.
Yep.
That's what I believe.
Yep, I agree. Well, we can only hope for a much stronger election, and everything's in the hands of Congress at this point. So.
And God.
And, of course, and God. So, let's just see what happens there. Alright, so this is Sam.
Cameron.
Signing out. Have a blessed week.